start of this international e-seminar. Our distinguished guests, respected and eminent speakers and participants who are joining us from all across the globe. I welcome you all, and it's my extreme privilege to welcome you all to this international one-day e-seminar on the contribution of women in science, a Global Women Breakfast 2026. The Global Women Breakfast 2026 is an international series of events organized by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, that is IUPAC, to support the United Nations International Day of Women in Science. It brings together science communities all over the world to celebrate the achievements of women and girls in the stream of science and build a global network. So the theme of this GWB 2026 is Many Voice and One Science. So, emphasizing the diversity in perspectives strengthens the scientific enterprise. This international e-seminar is organized by the Department of Chemistry, Chaudhary DeviLal University, Sirsa, in collaboration with Vijnana Bharati and International Union of Pure and Applied Science. Now, it's my distinct honor and privilege to invite Dr. Geeta Rani, Chairperson of Chemistry, to deliver the inaugural address. Dr. Rani's academic leadership and contribution in the field of chemistry is truly an inspiration for all of us. So we are really grateful for her presence and guidance at this significant global occasion. Ma'am, I warmly welcome you to the address.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. Good morning to our esteemed guest of honor, Dean Research Professor Vikram Singh, distinguished speakers, respected dignitaries, deans, directors, Professor Ashok Sharma, Professor Priyanka Sivaj, students, participants who are joining online and offline from India and different parts of the world. It is my immense pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the Global Women Breakfast 2026 as we celebrate the International Day of Women and Girls in Science alongside National Science Day, which is to be celebrated on 28 February. This event is being held in collaboration with IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, along with Vijnana Bharati and Shakti, a dynamic team of women committed to fostering science and empowerment. Global Women Breakfast is a flagship initiative of International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, which is celebrated annually in conjunction with United Nations. This global movement connects scientists, researchers, academicians, and students from universities, research institutions, industries, PSUs from India and across the world. The core objective of GWB is to foster collaboration, strengthen professional networks, promote gender equality, and empower women to take leadership roles in scientific achievement. Each year, hundreds of events are organized worldwide, bringing together voices from diverse cultures and disciplines under a common scientific vision. IUPAC, it was established in 1919. It is the World Authority on Chemical Nomenclature, Terminology, and Critically Evaluated Data. For over a century, it has created and maintained a common scientific language that connects chemists globally. Through its formal peer-reviewed system, IUPAC supports meritorious proposals from scientists around the world. In addition to publishing technical reports, journals, and databases, it provides awards recognizing scientific excellence and collaborates with international bodies to advance global scientific standards. Today we are gathered not only as representatives of our respective institutions, but as members of global scientific community, united by a shared commitment to promote inclusion, excellence, and leadership among women in science. We are especially privileged to have with us our esteemed guest of honor, Dean Research Professor Vikram Singh. We also extend a warm welcome to the members of VIBA and Shakti team who are joining online, international delegates, and senior professors. We extend a warm welcome to the other international delegates and senior professors and eminent speakers, Professor Dipti Dharmani, Professor Shushma Yadav, Dr. Rachna Dimere, Professor Satya Hussain. As we commence today's seminar, let's celebrate not only scientific excellence, but also collaboration, diversity, and shared purpose. May this Global Women Breakfast 2026 inspire meaningful dialogue, lasting partnerships, and continue progress towards a more inclusive scientific community. With these words, I once again extend a heartfelt welcome to everyone present offline and online and invite our guest of honor, Professor Vikram Singh, to kindly say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning all. ज्योमेट्री के सेंस से ये इवेंट पेंटागोनल इवेंट है. देयर आर 5 ऑर्गेनाइजर्स और केमिस्ट्री के हिसाब से कैन आई यूज हिंदुस्तानी में और केमिस्ट्री के हिसाब से पेंटावेलेंट इवेंट है. पार्टनर्स हैं चौधरी देवीलाल यूनिवर्सिटी, IUPAC, Global Women Breakfast, शक्ति और विज्ञान भारती. थीम है विमेन इन साइंस. I will restrict myself to 2 aspects. One, women in computer science, and the second aspect will be akin to trading different waters, सोसाइटी पॉलिटिक्स को कवर करूंगा, जो कि मेरा डोमेन बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. डॉक्टर गीता, कन्वीनर ऑफ दिस इवेंट, प्रोफेसर राजवीर, प्रोफेसर सुल्तान सिंह, प्रोफेसर प्रियंका, प्रोफेसर अशोक कुमार, प्रोफेसर रंजीत कौर, प्रोफेसर मीना, डॉक्टर सुरेश, डॉक्टर चंद्री. माजिद चाहूंगा, इनका नाम 2 दिन पहले मैं लेना भूल गया था. She was comparing the event. I beg your pardon. Gulshan, member of my team, teachers, students, and all those who are connected online, a very good morning. चार्ल्स बैबेज को कंप्यूटर का फादर बोला जाता है, फादर ऑफ कंप्यूटिंग, चार्ल्स बैबेज. उन्होंने क्या किया, इन 1833 ईयर, 19th सेंचुरी के 33वें साल में उन्होंने एक मशीन बनाई. दैट मशीन वाज कॉल्ड डिफरेंशियल इंजन. प्योरली मैकेनिकल कंप्यूटर था. लगभग 10 साल बाद फिर एक वो मशीन को, अपनी ही मशीन को मॉडर्नाइज करते हैं. मशीन का नाम रखते हैं एनालिटिकल इंजन. अगेन ये भी इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन नहीं थी, ये भी पावर अपनी मैकेनिकल सोर्सेज से ड्रॉ करती थी, लेकिन ये जनरल पर्पज मशीन थी. इट वाज जनरल पर्पज मशीन, प्रोग्रामेबल, रीप्रोग्रामेबल एंड रीप्रोग्रामेबल. एंड who wrote the programs for computer programs for that machine, analytical engine manufactured by Babbage? She was obviously she was a she, and her name was Lady Ada Augusta Lovelace. Those from literature, they can relate her to Lord Byron, one of very famous English poets. She was daughter of Lord Byron. And yes, Ada Augusta Lovelace is credited with the title of being first computer programmer of the world. First computer programmer of the world was a girl, was a female. As much as that, one of the very popular computing language of 1980s and 70s is named in respect of her as Ada. Her first name was Ada, and a computer language is named to honor that lady, the first computer programmer of the world. Then came 1940s, 1944, when still the transistors were not invented. Electronic devices used to be vacuum tubes, and Mark I was an electronic computer of first generation manufactured by IBM, International Business Machines Corporation, the oldest computing house of the world. Can you think who wrote computer programs for that machine? Mark I, one of the earliest first generation digital computers. Yes, she was Grace Murray Hopper, again a female, female programmer. Second, popularly we call her second computer programmer of the world. Kathleen Booth, again a girl. She worked from 1947 and between 1953. She wrote assembly level language programs. Assembly level language programs, we can think of it like in early days computers. Today also computer only work in the language 2 and 1, binary language. We call it machine level language. Early programmers like Ada Lovelace, they wrote programs in 0 and 1 only in binary language. Then it was very difficult to remember binary codes. Some other means was required, say for division, for multiplication, for addition, for anything. Everything was to be codified in zeros and ones. It was difficult. Then people think of devising some three-letter codes like DIP for division, MUL for multiplication, SUM for addition, and so on. When these codes, pseudocodes, mnemonics were used, and the language was called assembly level language. Yes, assembly level language written for three very popular computers. Again, she was also a girl, a lady, Kathleen Booth. 1952. Another first generation digital computer, UNIVAC 1. And for that computer, high-level language means something very similar to English. We may say English-like language. Machine-level language, most difficult to learn, understand, and forget. Then assembly-level language, somewhat easier to understand, to remember. Then high-level language, nearest to human language, nearest to natural language. Yes, the first programming language of high-level category for UNIVAC computer was devised by Grace Murray Hopper, the second computer programmer of the world. This is second appearance of Hopper. We shall see the third appearance of her also. 1955-58, she devised another language, high-level language called Flowmatic. And yes, this language became the basis of a very popular business purpose high-level language called COBOL. Several of us might have heard that language, COBOL, Common Business-Oriented Language. The next month, we became independent in September 1947. Grace Murray Hopper's team was working in Harvard University on a digital computer, and yes, the machine stopped working. They found a moth stuck in between the electric relays. That was the region behind stopping of the computer. They plucked the moth out of the relay, and yes, the machine started working again. And out of the fun, they called it was a bug, and we have debugged it. Yes, debugging is a very popular term in computer science. It refers to errors present in the programs. And yes, the term debugging was, if not coined, it was made very popular by the team of Grace Murray Hopper. You can think of the contribution of this lady in the computing jargon. There are some other names also not that popular. Things changed thereafter in favor of the masculine gender. That much about contribution of female in computer science. Now let me come to the second aspect that relates to literature, politics, and society. As I already told you, this is not my domain. इस पे बात करना मतलब मैं खतरा मोल ले रहा हूँ because Gunanji just sitting here. महापंडित राहुल संकरतायन एक किताब लिखते हैं वोल्गा से गंगा, फ्रॉम वोल्गा टू गंगा, जिसमें कि यूरेशिया से लेके माइग्रेशन का जिक्र है। यूरेशिया मीन्स वोल्गा प्रदेश से लेके गंगा प्रदेश तक के माइग्रेशन का जिक्र होता है और वो कवर करते हैं पिछले 8000 साल की जर्नी को, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 6000 BCE टू द प्रेजेंट टाइम्स व्हेन ही वाज राइटिंग इन अर्ली 20th सेंचुरी। वो सारे माइग्रेशन को समराइज करते हैं। 20 कहानियां हैं किताब के अंदर। पहली 2 कहानियां, पहली स्टोरी का नाम है निशा, दूसरी का नाम है दिवा। इन 2 कहानियों में पहले 3000 साल का जो माइग्रेशन है या जो रहन सहन है वो कवर होता है फ्रॉम 6000 BCE टू 3000 BCE। उसमें सारी सोसाइटी महिला प्रधान है। शिकार करने के लिए जाते हैं। यस, किसी को डाउट हो तो अपना डाउट मिटा देना, हमारे पूर्वज मांस खाते थे, हर एक के पूर्वज मांस खाते थे। तो शिकार करने जाती है टीम, टोली, headed by female, headed by the family head who was invariably a female। ये सिलसिला जारी रहा 3000 BCE तक, यानी कि आज से लगभग 5000 साल पहले तक। फिर ट्रांजिशन पीरियड आता है फ्रॉम मैट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी टू पैट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी। बीच की जो टाइम है ट्रांजिशन पीरियड, उसमें भी लड़कियां स्वच्छंद रूप से रात बिरात घूमती हैं विदाउट एनी फियर। लेकिन ये प्राचीन भारत की है। मध्य युगीन भारत में एक साहित्य है, वैशाली की नगर वधु है, आचार्य चतुर्सेन लिखते हैं उस किताब को। वैशाली नाम के गणराज्य का उसमें जिक्र है। नो डाउट अच्छी लाइट में हम नहीं देख सकते। नगर वधु, उस राज्य की सबसे सुंदर महिला को नगर वधु का खिताब दिया जाता है। उसकी सारी स्वतंत्रता छीन ली जाती है। वो अपने आप में एक मानव रहती ही नहीं है, मानव ही नहीं रहती है वो। फीमेल की तो बात छोड़िए। लेकिन उस दौरान भी स्वतंत्र रूप से घूमती हुई तरुणियों का जिक्र आचार्य चतुर्सेन करते हैं। एक नगर वधु जिसको बना दिया, उसकी स्वतंत्रता छीन ली, डिप्लोरेबल बात है, नो डाउट। लेकिन बंधन सभी लड़कियों पे, उसको छोड़ के और किसी लड़की पे कोई बंधन नहीं था। मध्य युगीन भारत की बात है। लगभग पौने 4000 साल पहले, 3750 साल पुरानी बात है। आज का इराक, उस वक्त का बेबीलोनिया, वहां पे एक राजा हम्मुराबी पहले कानून को कोडिफाई करता है, कैनन को कोडिफाई करता है। आज के दिन कानून वाले लोग उसको हम्मुराबी कोड के नाम से जानते हैं। पूरी सोसाइटी को 3 टाइप के लोगों में डिवाइड करता है। नोबिलिटी, जो कि राजा के आसपास उसके मंत्रिमंडल में सारे कुछ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में होते, दैट इज कॉल्ड नोबिलिटी। फिर हम आप जैसे लोग कॉमन लोग, और फिर तीसरी कैटेगरी कॉमनर्स की और नोबिलिटी की सेवा करने वाले दास, यानी कि स्लेव्स। उस सोसाइटी में बात होती है कि फीमेल ऑफ द फैमिली, चिल्ड्रन ऑफ द फैमिली, कैमल्स ऑफ द फैमिली, गॉड्स ऑफ द फैमिली, ये प्रॉपर्टी है मेल फैमिली हेड के। मेल फैमिली हेड की प्रॉपर्टी माने जाते हैं। फीमेल ऑफ द फैमिली, चिल्ड्रन ऑफ द फैमिली, डंगर ढोर पशु, उनके यानी कि कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है पशु में और फीमेल्स में और चिल्ड्रन में। लॉ वाले बताते हैं कि ये बहुत अच्छा एफर्ट था हम्मुराबी का कि उसने लॉ को कोडिफाई किया। देश और काल के हिसाब से कानून बदलता रहता है। देशों के हिसाब से कानून, यहाँ पे कोई एक्टिविटी यहाँ पे क्रिमिनली ऑफेंसिव हो सकती है, किसी दूसरे देश में नहीं हो सकती है। टैक्स हेवंस हैं जहाँ पे कर चोरी नाम की कोई चीज ही नहीं है। यहाँ पे छोटे से गबन के लिए बहुत सारे सालों तक ट्रायल नहीं होती, जेल में बिता देते हैं। मध्ययुगीन भारत के बाद का जो पीरियड था वो महिलाओं के लिए कोई अच्छा नहीं रहा है। फिर आता है 1947 और उसके आसपास का, जब हमें संविधान मिलता है और कम से कम बुक्स में तो महिलाओं को बराबरी मिल ही जाती है। रिसर्जेंस होती है, हम 6000 BC से 3000 BC तक की बात करते हैं, जब महिला प्रधान सोसाइटी थी। फिर बीच में बुरा हाल भी होता है और फिर अब रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, हम बराबरी की बात कर रहे हैं पड़ोस के प्रांत में। अभी कुछ साल पहले पार्लियामेंट ने विमेन रिजर्वेशन इन लेजिस्लेचर बिल पास किया है, इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाएगा, 1-2 दशक में हो जाएगा। लेकिन विमेन रिजर्वेशन जो कि एक कंट्रोवर्शियल इशू है ही नहीं, वो नहीं हो पा रहा है जॉब्स में, एडमिशंस में हरियाणा काउंसिल फॉर टेक्निकल एजुकेशन ने किया था एक बार, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, अब नहीं है, किसी को कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी। पड़ोस के प्रांत में पंजाब में हॉरिजॉन्टल रिजर्वेशन है फीमेल के लिए जॉब्स में। एससी कैटेगरी में 33% जॉब्स फीमेल के लिए खाली रह जाती हैं, तो ओपन टू दैट पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी, किसी को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। ये चीज भी नहीं हो पा रही है बाकी जगह। हम सेट एग्जाम्पल को भी देख के हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, लेकिन चीजें बेहतरी की तरफ मूव कर रही हैं, नो डाउट। हम 6000 BCE वाले गोल तक शायद पहुंच पाए ना पहुंच पाए, लेकिन कहीं बीच का कोई गोल हम प्राप्त कर लेंगे, ऐसी हमें आशा रखनी चाहिए। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं कंग्रेचुलेट करता हूँ मैडम आपके इस एफर्ट को। शानदार आपका ये आयोजन है, धन्यवाद।
Well, we express our sincere gratitude to Professor Vikram Singh, Dean Research, and our guest of honor for gracing the International E-Seminar on the contribution of women in science, a global women breakfast 2026. Your inspiring words and encouraging presence have added immense value to this academic global gathering. Thank you so very much, sir. Now it's my proud privilege to invite our esteemed speaker, Professor Sushma Yadav, former Vice Chancellor of Bhagat Phool Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Kanpur Kala, Sonipat. Ma'am has been a Pro-Vice Chancellor of Central University of Haryana, Mahendragarh, and Pro-Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Open University of New Delhi. Professor Sushma is the Chairperson of Care Empowered Committee of UGC New Delhi and a member Appeals Committee of NAC Bangalore. Ma'am has been a member of Press Council of India and a member of University Grant as well. Ma'am has been the chair professor of Dr. Ambedkar Chair at IUPAC, and Professor Sushma Yadav has to her credit more than 15 books and several research papers in various national and international journals. Ma'am has received many prestigious awards. Some of them are the Vidyushree Samman, Savitribai Phule Rashtriya Shiksha Samman, Women Empowerment Award, Most Iconic Pro-Vice Chancellor Award 2023, Most Iconic and Innovative Vice Chancellor Award in 2020, Pride and National Excellence Award in 2019, Women of the Year Award again in 2019, and Delhi Samman Ratan in 2015. So Ambassador Peace Award was also given to her in 2015, and this list is infinity. So I feel extremely privileged to invite Professor Sushma Yadav, our first eminent speaker on the Global Women Breakfast 2026 on the topic of women leadership. Ma'am, please address the gathering. Professor
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. And let me pin myself if I can, because then you will tell me how do I look, or you can give me the central position if you can. I am not able to do it from here. Maybe you can do it. the speaker's position. Yeah. And lovely to see so many people.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can you do it? Because otherwise, if I'm visible, it's okay.
Yes, ma'am, you're visible.
Finely visible? Okay.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. Let me address the Honorable Vice Chancellor and my dear brother. Can you hear me? Huh. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University and my dear younger brother, Professor Vijay Kumarji, the organizer, convener of this international e-conference, e-seminar, Dr. Geeta Rathi, Chairperson, Department of Chemistry, Chaudhary DeviLal University, Sirsa. My co-panelists, which I can see on the poster, Professor Deepti Dharmani, a dear friend and colleague, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, Chaudhary Bansilal University, Divani. Professor Sabiye Yusan, Director of the Institute of Nuclear Sciences, H University, Turkey. Dr. Rachna Gimre, Department of Physics. Tri Chandra Multiple Campus, Tribhuvan University, Nepal. It's the most prominent university of Nepal. I must compliment the university, its Honorable Vice Chancellor, and the very proactive and dynamic chairperson of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Geeta Rathi, who was in touch with me, and I would say thanks to her for inviting me to this. I think this Global Women Breakfast is an initiative of the Global Women Network of Science, maybe. The e-seminar catalyzes inclusivity, equity, and diversity in network of sciences. I told Geeta ji, I'm not a science person, but I think in the future to come, science and humanities must go together. Otherwise, the world will not be what it is and what it should be, in fact. So I'm thankful that I'm here, and I compliment the department and the university for organizing this Global Women Breakfast one-day international e-seminar to bring together scientists from all around the world and remember the contribution or commemorate the contribution of women in science. To celebrate, I would say in long run, the International Women's Day, a day to mark the travel of women towards equality, rather, now I say equity and inclusivity, not merely equality, because equality is something, which is quite difficult or I think almost impossible, but equity surely is possible and should be there. So why do we celebrate International Women's Day? Because there have been years and centuries where women the world over, were denied rights. And we were not part of that world at that time because India was a bit different. I could hear my predecessor, speaker, I don't recollect the name, but we were not like them. But that is why it started in the West, and March 8th, which is going to come soon enough, New York started this day in 1914, Russia on February 23rd. It was a fight against inequality and discrimination, and also now it has moved towards claiming human rights, equity, and dignity. That's what International Women's Day is all about. And if you look at the International Women's Day website, it is the break the bias, break the stereotypes, and UN Gender Equity or Equality Today stands for a sustainable tomorrow. That is the logo for last 2 years or 3 years. And G20, which was held in India, introduced women-led development. And now I think all the young ladies and men who are here and my dear colleagues from the Department of Chemistry and the other departments of Chaudhary DeviLal University, I'm sure you'll all agree with me. Now, the world is looking at women-led development because there are countries and countries where women have led the nation and they have made the difference. They broke the stereotype. They showed a very different kind of leadership style, which is required in this day. So I won't be speaking only on science because Geeta ji didn't ask me, and I am not the right person to speak, although I was part of the STEM monitoring committee of the Department of Science and Technology, and I know how the Department of Science and Technology is trying to break the stereotypes in the social attitude towards science, technology, engineering, and mathematics and management. All these were earlier men's passions. And the Indian government is trying to break these stereotypes and the barriers also, so that more and more women can be there and can in fact make a difference. Let me begin with, as my predecessor had done, or maybe I come to that later, the 20th century has its own challenges, and 20th century also has its own requirement of leadership style. So who is a leader? A leader is one who can make a team, who can lead a team, who knows what is to be done, who can define the goals, vision, mission, and who can take people along in that journey or efforts towards realizing the vision and mission. And human civilization now has a mission to evolve towards peace, with peace, do away with violence, and do away with discrimination. And that requires a new skill type. Leaders need different kinds of skills. I will not be taking many names from the modern world because modern world is now full of women who have broken the stereotypes. Very good example is corporate leaders in India. Much more beautiful example now is our own finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, who's broken lots and lots of stereotypes. She was in defense, she was in commerce. She has led the ministries which were earlier supposed to be only men's prerogative. And now I think there are avenues before us. But why these avenues have come, I'd like to speak on that. And what is required, I'll also like to speak on that. Now, if we talk about the 21st century, requirements of leadership, there are different challenges before the world which is there before us. And this world, this world needs different kinds of skills. In India, we've had years and years where the civilization was led by women or the communities were known by women. If you recollect Ramayana and Mahabharata, you will find the change. Mahabharata had the concept of Draupadi Putra, Kunti Putra. It was, the children were not known by the father's name, but they were known much more with the name of the mother. And that was a big change for this country. And we've seen queens before that also. We've seen intellectual women before that. And we have seen women who made changes. If we start from the earlier times, then it is the first woman Indrani, the wife of Indra, who was supposed to be the king of the Devatas, who said, never underestimate me, never ignore me. I'm there, I'm leading the family because I respect the family, because the family respects me. But if you do not do that, I have the courage to fight against every kind of injustice and make you realize that the power lies with me. So she said, I'm a kshatrani. I wear the kshatra also. That was the kind of self-confidence and self-courage. We have Madalasa, we have Jabala, who was doing whatever but could tell her son, they go and tell your guru, you are so-and-so's son, you are Jabala's son. And he will understand, tell, I do not know the name of my father. This was a very, very modern, what we call even postmodern approach, which was there in ancient India. So Gautami, Bharati, Maitreyi, Gargi, Romsa, who created verses in Vedas. Lilavati, the great mathematician, Kunti, Draupadi from Mahabharata, Jijabai, Pannadhai, Jhalkari Bai, Rani Chenamma, Rani Begum Hazrat Mahal, Savitri Bai Phule. You know, they've been Ahilya Bai Holkar, whose 300 years we have commemorated in last year, and we could see how different a queen was she. So women have a different style of working, different style of leadership, because they are different from others. A mother is inherently there in a woman, and the quality of her mother is to nurture, to give birth, to create, to nurture, to handhold, to guide, to inspire, to lead, and also to mentor. So she has all the qualities which are required for a woman leader. And therefore, I would say that women leaders have a great future in coming years. But for that, we must always remember what are the competencies that are required. You know, if you look at the literature, there are top 10 competences for leaders of 21st century. We're living in 21st century now. And the 21st century leadership has to be transformative. It has to be multidimensional. It has to be integrative. It has to be emotional. It has to be inclusive. So for this, they need certain competences. The competencies are expressive. And if you look, I don't have a slide, otherwise I would have shown you. Expressive. It's a completely female nature. You can see the difference in male and female. Women usually speak out. Women usually express their feelings and emotions, anger, love, easily, much more than others, much more than their male counterparts also. Plans for future. This is again a female trait. Now we have to plan for future because sustainable development is not merely a goal. It is a need of the hour. It is a requirement of this century. Otherwise, humanity may not be there. It may vanish or it may be destroyed. So they are needed. Decisive is another role, decisive, which is supposed to be a male feature. Otherwise, that they decide quickly. For instance, you go for, I will give you a very small example. You go for shopping. A woman thinks 100 times whether I need it or not, whether this color is okay for me, whether this price is okay for me, whether I really need it, is it okay, is the cloth required, or is the cloth a repetition, etc., etc. Men don't take that much time. Same is about decisions, but this comes out of education, knowledge, and confidence. So now women are moving in that. I'm sure they will soon enough have this, and the women prime ministers and presidents all over the world have shown they've taken much better decisions and even quick decisions wherever required. Reasonable. I would say, although males say they are more rational, or usually we were told to believe that they are more rational, but I would say more reasonable is feminine or female, because she thinks more comprehensively and wholesomely and futuristically also. So the future plan, I usually believe, and maybe you all can think about it, if there is a female, she always thinks of the future. Households run because of that. I say houses have become and have been running because of that kind of futuristic planning that they have in mind. They always think beyond today and think beyond this year. When will their children go? When will we require this or that, etc., is part of their thinking. Then loyalty. 21st century competences, you just cannot be, illoyal or not loyal to your agenda, your vision, your mission, your clientele, your population, etc., and your nation finally. Your family for a woman, but the nation becomes her family when she is really into leadership role. So loyalty is her forte. That's also a very, very feminine trait. Flexibility. I think that's a hallmark of a woman. because she knows, and that at times she has to, change the way or maneuver through the ways. So flexibility is required in 21st century, because when the climate change takes place, when violence comes over, when the nations require something different, when the
प्रूव है तो दिखाओ, प्रूव करके दो, बर्डन ऑफ प्रूफ है आपके ऊपर।
ममता जी, आप
Kindly unmute yourself, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, sorry, ma'am, you are not audible. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Sorry,
Yes,
when I tried to mute others, mine got muted, or maybe you got muted. You muted me, whatever.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you, dear. So I could speak on the patients. You could hear me on patients or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So now resilience. It is supposed to be a male trait or male quality, but I think again it comes with your vision. It comes with your wholesome knowledge and education, because we usually say vidya sa vimuktaye. So it makes you resilience also. With that, women are also acquiring. I say resilience is a feminine trait. And the ninth trait, which is supposed to be a competency for top 10, among the top 10 competencies for leadership style of 21st century, is intuitive, which is called the sixth sense also. And we've been reading through literature, women naturally have that, because they are intuitive. There's a sixth sense working. That's why they can see beyond what is shown to them. They can see beyond what they can read or write or look. So that is also another quality which makes them competent. And finally, the top 10 competencies include collaborative effort or collaborative style. And women running households have to be collaborative. Joint families look forward to a lot of collaboration among women and a collaborative instinct, in fact. So they have it innate. It's breaking because of the, competitiveness and self-centeredness which the modern world has imposed on the entire society. I think they do away with, and it's much more, there can be a discussion on this, but I will not go for that discussion. This discussion can be there, but I would say collaboration is a human trait, in fact, because human beings are Homo sapiens. So both of them have it, and both of them have it well. That's why humanity is progressing. Therefore, this trait also is there among women, and this makes them really capable and competent for leadership roles. If you leave decisions without involving women, then half of the humanity is out of it. Therefore, they have to be part of leadership positions. If we look at data, now I think more than 50%, or rather more than that, countries have already tasted women leadership. And they have really seen the rewards or the plus points of that. Women have grown in corporates from 6% in 2013 to 18% in 2022. In IT sector, it has a great female presence. If you look at India, the IT sector, the space sector, education field, even the army, Air Force, Navy, etc. Now, there are hardly any places which are left out or which are not there for women. And it's not merely making women participate, but the latest that Indian government has done it, and I will come on Indian government especially because we are speaking from India and maybe the others can learn it. STEM is one program where it is usually, women usually are encouraged, and the Indian government and Department of Science and Technology are trying to make place for women so that we have more women scientists. And you look at Mangal launch, you look at other launches, you saw women being part of those important teams which did these epoch-making initiatives or innovations. And therefore, I think in the world, in the years to come, or in the century, the Dollars report which came in 1996 talked about the treasure within, learning for understanding learning, or learning to know how to learn, in fact. So that report also talked about this treasure. The treasure within is among all human beings. The challenges of 21st century, if we look at them, are the world citizens who are losing their roots, the global and the local. The locals have their own expectations and the global have their own insecurities. So the combination of the two can be seen now in any country. And I think you need a motherly feeling or a feeling of nurturing or nourishment among the leaders, which women leaders can in fact do very well. The second great challenge of 21st century, this was migration. The second great challenge which 21st century has is the unique character and responsibility of individuals in the universal and the individual. We are living in a global world, no one can deny that. But we are also asserting for individual dignity or individual requirements, and therefore a leadership which can understand this requirement of retaining the unique character and nurturing the unique character of every individual is required. If you look at a family, I think a mother is the most compassionate figure in the family who tries to take care of the weakest child first, because she knows what is the child's weakness and she tries to do that. So that kind of mother figure, if there is in the leadership of the country, a country will surely be nourished better, nurtured better, and protected also better. The third challenge, which is 21st century, is tradition and modernity. That is, adopt the change without surrendering its good part. And you can look at the working women in India and the women in science and technology and engineering. You looked at the women, they were as beautifully dressed in their silk saris and beautiful flowers in the space travel also, in making the launch of the space mission. And you can see them in any field except, of course, management, etc. But you can look at Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, you could look at Mrs. Sushma Swaraj, and earlier even Mrs. Gandhi. So Indian women have adorned these two roles. They've kept their traditions intact and they have adopted the modern travels or modern journeys which are required, and modern system of education which is required for progressing further. The next challenge of 21st century is long-term and short-term considerations. Quick answers, immediate solutions must also combine a patient, concerted, and negotiated strategy. And if I say, of course, it's a human quality, but women have them as much or even more than men. I'm not at all countering male leadership. I'm just arguing or saying or putting forth with evidence that women have the leadership competencies and qualities which the entire world now recognizes, because they can do this. They have a very quick reflex also, but they also think about the coming years and the coming centuries. And finally, the 21st century leadership style or 21st century challenges, you must be able to combine competition with concern for equality of opportunity. Combine competition, that is incentives and progress, with cooperation, inner strength and strength within, and solidarity, unity and dignity. And I would say, although human beings must be trained in this, but women have them much, much more than the male. It is by nature they are different because that motherly trait or that motherhood feature which is there. India has highest number of female ministers in the cabinet for the first time. As I said, defense minister, foreign affairs were part of it, and soon enough maybe even home comes to them. You never know. Then Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao to encourage. Haryana knows it best. That even you are well off, you were going for infanticide or female infanticide. So Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao encouraged them to be educated, and you have seen the difference in the areas of Sonipat, Panipur. Thankfully, Sirsa was not as bad, but it has to be improved everywhere. Indian government has taken a very, very thoughtful decision of including 33% women in police force in duties and Delhi police to address the gender insensitivity or encourage gender sensitivity. And I'm sure it will spread all around, and that will change the face of policing also and the face of interaction among women and police. The Juvenile Justice Act has been amended to bring forth provisions which help gender sensitization. A gender transformative health strategy by providing rupees 6,000 for all pregnant ladies, the Ladli scheme for women, model women-friendly gram panchayats to encourage leadership from within or from roots of the politics or political leadership, and then promote gender equality by allowing night shifts for women, and women wanted it. And above all, the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, which may soon come in power after this census, etc., or delimitation. I think India has been on path to show to the world how women-led development can take place. And I would say, we at our own level as teachers, and as educated women, as students, because you are educated youth, we must be able to appreciate the rainbow of India, which Prime Minister Modi has usually said, that at the rainbow, at the heart of this rainbow lie women. 7 colors are culture, agriculture, women, natural resources, youth power, democracy, and knowledge. And look at it, everywhere you find women around it. So I would say there are 10 ways to promote gender-friendly environment, to promote women in science, promote women in technology, promote women in engineering, and Vedic mathematics to promote women in mathematics. You have to tell your sons, you have to make everyone understand in the family this household work can be shared, needs to be shared. If you're both working, you have to distribute duties among your children very, very carefully, so that you don't say, this is not my work, this is my sister's work, or this is my brother's work. That blue and pink dichotomy must really go away. Support mothers and parents. Watch for signs of violence wherever they are, or harassment at workplace. We all must reject that. Reject any kind of chauvinist attitude if you see that around. Help women gain power with respect. Don't find reasons, oh, she has got this, she must be like this. This has been there for years. So political power, economic power, leadership, etc., etc., or knowledge power, which is the power of the 21st century, must be gained by women, and it is the duty of entire nation and the society and the world, I would say, to support them in their travel towards knowledge. And finally, India is paying the same wages for all work, but the globe has seen a lot of diversity, lot of inequality in that. So we must see that same salary must be paid for the same kind of work. And slowly we must come to the informal sector so that the children of those working women or the labor, etc., also find a more progressive place. Therefore, I'm sure if women realize their innate power and the world respects them, then there will not be any problem in providing the leadership roles to them in coming years. I also wanted to share with you the latest efforts in IT for women empowerment, if we have time, in health, in education, in rural development, and especially in women empowerment or women transformation, as they say. The digital governance had been doing a lot of things. We will look at the other nations' initiatives, but it's my duty to share with you the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan is crucial for women's inclusion to digital governance because it has trained millions of women across 6 million rural households, with women making up over half of this number, or those enrolled, trained, and certified. The Cyber Shakti program complements women by giving them women's cyber security knowledge. This allows them to work or become friendly to the digital world or become the local digital friends to help peers navigate safely online. Then the Women Entrepreneurship in Technology, WET program, and then STEM program, Women in Engineering, Science and Technology, WEST, that is another program. Initiatives also support women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as we call them, STEM, by providing mentorship, by providing special opportunities, by providing training, and by providing digital support. So connectivity has grown. With connectivity through common service centers and national broadband mission, it has reached to those communities and groups, and women were part of them, who did not have digital access earlier. So we're trying to fill up that gap. And then, Subhadra digital, the Subhadra Yojana in Odisha is one pioneer effort to allow women become part of digital governance and financial empowerment through digital modes. And it offers women direct benefit transfers tied to the JAM, Jandhan, Aadhaar Yojana, mobile activity, etc. There is another Operation Shakti, which uses AI tools like Garud Drishti, and Operation Shakti in Nagpur, it uses that. And similarly, there is Women in Digital Economy Fund, WIDEF, supported by USAID and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Reliance Foundation, which have launched grant around from 1 lakh to 5 lakh million dollars. So I think the time is coming when women have lots of opportunities to have access to knowledge, have access to power, and have also access to leadership roles. To women, I would say, take care of yourself, take care of your health through the Panchakosha, which Indian civilization has been practicing. Take care of your health by good food. Take care of your mind by good practices, or culture. Take care of your breath by having pranayam. Take care of your mind, body, soul together by Vijnanamaya Kosh, and you may lead to a life which is full of ananda, pleasure. Although pleasure doesn't really translate ananda in fact, but pleasure, happiness, and an attainment of knowledge which liberates you. So knowledge which empowers you, which liberates you, which encourages you, which makes you move towards the right path. And with this, I come to end of my presentation before you. I must compliment the Chaudhary DeviLal University, Sirsa, for holding or organizing this very beautiful breakfast, global women breakfast. It's breakfast time and it's breakfast ideas also. So it's these are ideas to break the world. Sorry, मैं हिंदी में बहुत नहीं बोली हूँ because I thought there may be people around. पर अपने बच्चों के लिए मैं कहना चाहूँगी जो युवा बच्चियाँ यहाँ पर हैं कि जो अन्नमय, मनोमय, प्राणमय और विज्ञानमय और आनंदमय कोश हमारे यहाँ हैं, उनको अपने जीवन में उतारें और फिर अपनी प्राचीन ऋषिकाओं को याद करें, अपने इतिहास को याद करें, अपने अतीत को याद करें, उस शक्ति को याद करें जिसको नारी शक्ति कहा जाता है, जिसको मातृशक्ति कहा जाता है। और वह शक्ति ज्ञान और विज्ञान, हमारे यहाँ ज्ञान विज्ञान में भेद नहीं किया जाता था, वह शिक्षा का, विद्या का हिस्सा है। तो आप उन दोनों को प्राप्त करें और अपने जीवन को सफल बनाएं, अपने समाज को सशक्त करें और भारत को उसका वही गौरव दिलवाएं जो उसके पास था। Once again, let me thank the organizer, Geeta Rani ji, Dr. Geeta Rani, her entire department, her entire team, which must have worked for it. And I wish that the International Women's Day, which is going to come soon, makes another path-breaking initiative or innovation for women to move forwards. लेकिन ये भी याद दिलाना चाहती हूँ, भारत में ये भेद कभी रहा नहीं, क्योंकि नर नारी से भेद नहीं होता। यहाँ की बहुत सुंदर लाइनें हैं, नारी तुम केवल श्रद्धा हो, विश्वास रजत नग पग तल में, पीयूष स्रोत सी बहा करो, जीवन के सुंदर समतल में। लेकिन जीवन का सुंदर समतल पूरा समाज बनाता है, तब महिला विश्वास और श्रद्धा के साथ अपने आप को चलाती है। Thank you very much, young lady. I didn't know your name. Thank you very much for the young lady who introduced me. Thank you to all of you. आप सबका धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ कि आपने मुझे सुना, जो दूर से सुना. I wish I was there, and I wish you all the best. There are lots of young ladies and young boys, young men there. I don't say boys and girls because you are now evolved. आप सबके लिए मेरी ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. नमस्कार.
Respected Professor Ma'am, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your powerful and thought-provoking discourse on women leadership. Ma'am, with your permission, can we make this session more interactive by asking questions from the audience?
Sure.
Thank you,
Most
sir.
welcome.
So my stage is for the audience. Faculty members or any research scholars, if you need to ask questions to ma'am on women leadership, you can question. So ma'am, we are having one question.
Sure.
Yes, you are audible.
Hello. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful talk.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. So regarding women leadership, ma'am, I have a question. Even today we talk about women leadership. We often see double standards. When a women leader is very assertive and very strict about rules and regulations, she is being called very aggressive. And when she is very soft and lenient about rules, she is being called weak. So what is your opinion, ma'am, on how women leaders should handle this perception gap?
Thank you. Very nice question. Very nice question. In fact, the dichotomy comes because we've had lots of biases and stereotypes. And therefore, when these stereotypes are broken, then these dichotomies emerge. You have, let me say, ladies, you have a double test. That is true. If you are lenient, then they'll say, oh, she doesn't do anything, or she doesn't know anything. And when you will be strict, you will be called. But it's not aggression. Never bother about what people say. If you bother about that, you cannot work. So go ahead. What you think right would be right. So go ahead, read the rules, understand them well, and then take decisions. They will not be wrong. And even if they are wrong, do not be afraid in taking decisions. People will change their opinions when you succeed. Okay? So go ahead, and these dichotomies will remain because we have come in the ground later. And there are already prejudices. Prejudices remain. You will break them soon with your hard work. Anyone, whether it is a male or a female, succeeds only with knowledge, power, and hard work. So there cannot be any other substitute. And please never fall for substitutes or softer ways. They never lead you to success. All right? I hope you could understand what you wanted to know.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Any more questions from the faculty members and research scholars? Okay, ma'am, we are having one more question.
Sure. Welcome.
Thank you so much for the inspiring talk, ma'am. Ma'am, you talked about breaking the stereotype,
Hanji.
and I feel it reflects really well in your journey. And what advice would you give to the women like us who are willing to move forward in their careers, which you also followed in your life?
Thank you. बड़ा सुंदर प्रश्न पूछा है तुमने. And I think it is life's experience. I would say, find out what you like most. Okay? Do that. And for you, I did not speak one thing. For women, it's a testing time because their careers and their homes need the same slot. जब आप 25 के आसपास होते हो, 20 के ऊपर हो जाते हो, उधर आपका कैरियर ग्रो करता है, उधर आपका परिवार डिमांड करता है that you have to grow because you are the nurturer, you are the creator. उस समय थोड़ी सी समझदारी से निर्णय लेना, एक तरफा निर्णय कभी मत लेना, और निभा सको तो एक तरफा भी ले लेना, लेकिन बहुत सोच समझकर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव लेना. एक बात जरूर कहूंगी, when your home needs you, you are the only one. Okay? When your office needs you, there can be substitutes. And never think that I will lose this, I will lose that. I don't have time. Sometime when I speak to you there in person, I'll tell you my life story also. You never lose it. You get your, what you deserve with your hard work at any time. So never be bothered about people's comments. Never be afraid of your decisions. लेकिन सोच समझ कर निर्णय इसलिए लेना क्योंकि वो टाइम लौट कर नहीं आएगा. कैरियर कैन ग्रो लेटर ऑल्सो. और वही एक प्रॉब्लम है थोड़ी सी जो साइंस इंजीनियरिंग टेक्नोलॉजी में, बिकॉज यू हैव लॉन्गर वर्क, लैब आवर्स, यू लॉन्गर रिसर्च आवर्स. उसमें थोड़ा सा महिलाएं पिछड़ती इसलिए हैं क्योंकि वही टाइम होता है. लेकिन माइंड इट, यू कैन ऑलवेज कंपनसेट फॉर दैट. ये सोच कर रहना और जहां भी रहो खुश रहना. इफ यू आर इन होम, एंजॉय दैट, make it a happy family, live happily there. When you are happy, all people around you are happy. And when you are at job, do not bother much about home because you leave that behind. So at job, you should never ask your colleagues, अरे मुझे जल्दी जाना है, मेरा ये काम कर दोगे क्या, अरे मैं निकल जाऊं क्या. नहीं, that makes you weak. So my advice to all the young ladies here is that never make these pretexts or pretenses. But you are a lucky one because you're blessed by God to create. So enjoy all the roles that you have, because others do not have these multiple roles, even to enjoy. And to young men who are there with you, I would say, even if they don't ask, do understand their requirements, their needs, and their sensitivities. Because it is Dr. Ambedkar's statement, when a woman gives birth to a child, she doesn't give birth to her own child only. She nourishes the nation. She nurtures the nation. Demography नहीं तो क्या रह जाएगी? इसलिए जब आप ये रोल भी करते हो तो इसी कॉन्फिडेंस और इसी सेल्फ प्राइड के साथ करो और दोनों काम साथ चलाओ तो बहुत अच्छा है. और अगर घर पे भी हो तो बी द मैनेजर. इट्स नॉट हाउस वाइफ, इट्स द होम मैनेजर विच यू कैन बिकम. इसलिए जहां भी हो उसी काम को अच्छा करो और अपने कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ, सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट के साथ, हार्ड वर्क के साथ करो. The entire world is yours. The world will respect you.
Thank you so much.
Right? Well,
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your address. You have added immense depth.
and thanks to all those who are giving a thumbs up to me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiration in our seminar, and we are really grateful for your time, wisdom, and encouragement. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, now I would also like to give a warm welcome to Professor Omid Singh, who is the part of this seminar. We welcome you, sir, as well. And then now moving on next, I would like to invite upon Dr. Rachna Ghimire, Assistant Professor of Physics, Traichandra Multiple Campus, Tribhuvan University of Kathmandu, Nepal. Ma'am has a huge research experience in the field of kinetic Monte Carlo simulation, geophysics, lightning, and astronomy. Dr. Ghimire has a dedicated academician and is a researcher who has worked in the field of physics. She has been actively engaged in teaching, mentoring, and contributing in various research initiatives that advance scientific understanding. So her academic journey has marked commitment to her excellence and knowledge. Through her lectures and research contributions and academic engagements, she continues to inspire the young minds towards critical thinking and scientific exploration. So we are truly privileged to have Dr. Rachna here with us at this International E-Seminar. Ma'am, I welcome you and the platform is all yours. Dr. Rachna.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be a part of this event. Lovely to see many people. I'm glad to be a part of One Day International E-Seminar, Contribution of Women in Science, Global Women Breakfast 2026. It's wonderful to be here. Thanks to organizer, Department of Chemistry, DeviLal University. Good morning, everyone. We cannot all succeed when half of us are held back. With this, I want to start my scientific session. And my scientific session, I want to make it little general. So, is this visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, today's my topic, which I choose, is lightning. As lightning seems to be sometimes beautiful, but it's like very, it's one of the natural disaster. We see lightning in thunderstorm. Today we are going to know why lightning happens, what precautions we need to take, and what are the future developments which we should do to decrease the number of deaths per year. Okay. With this, I want to start my topic with the introduction. lightning. This is the most dramatic and common natural activity that occurs in the atmosphere. Actually, light is nothing, it's just electric discharge. When there is a collision between the two clouds, I will say, I will describe it in detail. When it occurs, there is a release in energy in different forms, such as light, heat, sound, and other electromagnetic radiations during this course of light. Majority of lightning activities limited to within the clouds. Only few happens with the ground, which causes the damage. Lightning is the striking cause of tremendous loss and threat of property each year. Lightning as the severe cause of damage to physical structures and claims of life. Transmission towers, communication towers, transmission lines, and other tall physical structures as more vulnerable to the lightning activities. Much interest in electromagnetic field maintained due to diversified topology means I'm typically talking about Nepal right now because being in Nepal and we are facing this, while researching, I was researching in kinetic Monte Carlo field, but this field attracts me because this is causing so much of deaths and I want to research in this field. And Nepal, when I start my research, my focus is in the central part of the Nepal. So I'm especially talking about Nepal right now, this is giving it's from sea level now 59 meter to 8848, that is of Mount Everest. Live on receiving more lightning flashes terminating to ground as compared to that in tropical countries. Means height, we are living in hilly areas, so it's like more vulnerable to those areas. Now see how the formation of charge clouds takes place. Now what happens is that when sun rises, rising air, where the warm air goes up, that is when the water vapor gets converted into water drops, and then water drops, when it goes up, temperature start decreasing and they convert it into cloud droplets. Then the ice crystal formation takes place. Cloud droplets and ice crystals collide and graupule is formed. When ice crystals collides with graupule, this results in the formation of positive and negative charge particles. You can see these positive and negative charge particles. These ice crystals, which are having positive charge, being light, they go up, and those which are having the negative charge, they go down. So what the main conclusion is that now the cloud, its upper portion is positively charged and the cloud's lower portion is negatively charged. And when the cloud is, because of that, the Earth's surface also seems to have positive charge. This is seen from this diagram. Types of lightning. I just told you that ice crystals, which have a positive charge, they goes up. Then you can see the lower part, it is negatively charged. And down you can see the ground having a positive charge. You know what happens when positive and negative charges touches each other. So in the beginning, when the potential difference is not that much, air behave as a insulator. It doesn't pass, it doesn't discharge. But when it's too much, like potential difference increased to such a high value that we can see the lightning reaching ground. Okay. So finally, energy releases in the form of light to ground, and this is called lightning. See, flash development from positive charge center, cloud base, ground. So what is shown in this? So the upper one where cloud base is written, that is the base of the cloud, and the yellow, this is the ground. So you can see the strikes over there, it's shown. So there's so many strikes occurs, but only 1 or 2 reaches the ground. This is shown with the help of this graph. We have the lab for it, and in the lab what we observed is that out of so many strip leaders, you can see only 1 or 2 strikes, and for very small interval of time it reaches the ground. Others are only on the nearby to the cloud area. Now the literature review question. Benjamin Franklin proving the lightning as merely an electric discharge. It's nothing, it's just an electric discharge because of the presence of positive and negative charges in ground as well as in cloud. Division of lightning is basically into 2 types. Ground discharge about 1/3 means how many discharge out of that discharge takes place, only 1/3 of the discharge reaches the ground. And within the clouds, like it can happen in a single cloud also, it can happen between 2 or 3 clouds also. The cloud discharge is about 2/3. Berger in 1979 categorized the cloud to ground lightning. Negative lightning, it is 90%. Current in lightning is 30 kiloampere. Peak current is 200 kiloampere. You can see this, the magnitude of this current values and peak current value. Positive lightning, it's 20%, 10 times stronger than the negative strike. Current is 300 kilokelvin, 5 times the surface temperature of the sun. In Nepal, the average percentage of positive CG plus is found to be 28%. Now my motivation is lightning stroke is highly dangerous and hazardous. It is very urgent to protect the human life, cattle, human properties, electronic equipments and gadgets. We have to take care of our vulnerables. The effect can be, we have to minimize it by installing lightning rods, by public awareness has to be conducted. The main objective of this research proposals are to analyze the data of lightning events on disaster risk region and to develop the map of lightning hazard prone zone in the central part of Nepal. I have covered. Okay, now see, this is little bit theoretical part. Electric field at point P due to charge. This one is because there is a positive charge on the cloud and negative charge in the ground, so it behaves as a dipole, positive and negative dipole. Because of that, electric field at point P due to is E1 plus E2 physical terms. And while deriving, we find out that E equals to 1 by D square, that is distance to Q, plus 1 plus S square raised by 3 by 2. For maximum value, X equals to 1 by root 2. Okay. Total electric field in the ground is, if there are tripole structures, then this is the formula which is used in theory. The equation derived from Maxwell equations, and we get the electric and magnetic fields are. Electric field, and the formula for the lower one is the formula for the magnetic field. So the conceptual framework of our research work See, lightning, its effects. What happens is human casualty, animal casualty, damage and destruction of electrical lines and communication tower, damage and destruction of monuments, national heritage sites, human injuries, damage of equipments, electronic gadgets, medical and military equipments. These are its effects. Lightning gives us source of data, and this is taken from DRR portal and DES Inventor. Source of data gives measurements, software tools help us to analyze. This analyze gives us results, and this results give us the awareness. With this, we do go for the awareness program, workshop, seminar, and conferences. These results also gives us the help us to publish the research article. From there, we can give the recommendations, output of those research. Now I have taken the data of India. In India, like I have divided it into 4 regions. What we find it out is in 50% lightning occurs in Central India. North India, it's 19%. Northwestern India, it's 18%. South Peninsular India, it's 13%. So this gave us the same thing which is shown in the pie chart. It's given over here. We can see the central one, this one, Central India one, how the trend is going up. This is the number of this. What this gives is that sharp rise in deaths after 2001. Between 2010 to 2020, that is the deadliest decade with major increase in the deaths. If I will show you the comparison, in 1967 to 2002, average rate of death was 38, but between 2003 to 2020, it rises to 61. Now, this is the annual lightning map of India and how much is the fatalities due to the lightning. Means how much lightning occurs. It's like if it's white is less than 5. With this one key map is given downside. Okay. From here we can see that maximum more than 60 occurs in this Jammu and Kashmir side upside. Here Sikkim side. Okay. And we can see like most one is in this Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab. These are more vulnerable to the annual lightning areas. This is the how much lightning occurs in different parts of the India. And the second one is for how much death is occurring in different parts of. So from this one, we can see that Madhya Pradesh, okay, Madhya Pradesh is having the highest. Madhya Pradesh is having the highest death rate. Then second comes the Maharashtra. Third is Uttar Pradesh. And fourth one seems to be Odisha. Okay, now same thing which I have already told you, the same thing has come over here also. Like this is the different years and this is the average number of death that occurs due to the lightning. This is the data given in the different form, like the A1, the upper one, gives us the total number of deaths. B gives deaths per 1 million population. Information is same. The maximum is in Madhya Pradesh, then in Maharashtra, then in Uttar Pradesh, and then in Odisha. After that, okay. Now see lightning deaths and counts. This I already told you. Before was the Havlin. This was of the year between April 1, 2020 to 2020. The Bihar has got the maximum. Its number, Bihar number has come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is in 9th number, but deaths are maximum in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Similarly, I have done for Nepal, like where the lightning strikes comes maximum. It's in the central part. This is what we have got for central part. We can see the number of death of the people. Because of awareness, it is decreasing, but number of lightnings are increasing day by day. The number of incidents increasing, the number of this increasing because of increase in the temperature. This is the yearly data of lightning in multiple bar diagram. Number of effects. Heat map diagram I'm going to overall. I want to conclude it, so I'm moving faster. Now see, I want to just tell you that what precautions we have to take to, this is the like public awareness programs which we are spreading in Nepal, as we are very prone to it. See, one of the incident in a football game, a lightning strike occurs and all the 11 members of a football team died. Of one team, another team remains safe. These are the diagrams, figures of how this result of this lightning. You know, when you are near to the electric fences, when you are near to the tree, during the lightning time, we should be away from the single tree, and this is because of that. Dangerous from lightning. You know, water attracts lightning, green plants attract lightning, open space attracts lightning, buildings attracts lightning. So these are the dangerous spots. You know, water also have the polarity, so water attracts it. Leaves, because of their movement, they also have the polarity, they attract the lightning. So these are the dangerous spots for the lightning. Same thing, different diagrams. Now, how to get seek shelter. Take a safe shelter. In home, use a lightning detector. Follow the 30-30 rule. It means if you hear the thunder within 30 seconds, seek the shelter immediately. Stay indoors. Don't run your electronic items. Okay. Precautions: if you are in the within the tree or some open space, this is the how you should hold yourself to save yourself from the lightning. Power lines can provide protection from lightnings. This is the protected region. Within the if you are inside the home or inside the vehicles, you are safe. With this, I want to conclude my speech. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Rachna of Department of Physics, Tirubhavan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. Ma'am, your enlightening address on the topic of lightning was truly inspiring for all of us. The way you connected your scientific understanding with the real world relevance was very engaging and thought-provoking. Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, now, it's my proud privilege to invite a distinguished academician and a visionary leader, Professor Devi Dharmani, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Chaudhary Bansilal University, Bhiwani. Ma'am is an embodiment of academic excellence and progressive leadership. Professor Dharmani is a distinguished academic leader known for her exceptional contribution to higher education, research, and institutional development. With an illustrious academic career spanning over several years, she has consistently demonstrated excellence in teaching, research, and academic admiration. Ma'am has held key leadership positions and has been instrumental in promoting innovation, quality education, and interdisciplinary research. As a visionary Vice Chancellor, she continues to inspire the faculty members and the students through her progressive approach and dedication. And yes, academic integrity as well. So we are truly privileged to have such an accomplished academician and dynamic women here with us. Ma'am will address the gathering on the theme of gender bias and women empowerment. So this subject strongly resonates in our academic, professional, and social spheres. So with great respect and humbleness, I invite Professor Devi to deliver her address. I welcome you, ma'am.
Namaskar. Namaskar to all, one and all. I'm very happy to note that the organizing team has worked so hard to realize this vision of this conference. Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
As discussed and as disclosed by the anchor, the topic that I'm going to discuss is gender bias. As we all understand, gender is a social construct, it's a socio-cultural construct, which is usually confused with sex, which is a biological category manifesting in physiological and physical attributes and features. On the other hand, gender is actually how we perceive ourselves, how we think ourselves, how we feel and experience ourselves. This is basically a behavioral, related to behavior, related to roles and how we express ourselves. So sex basically is a static category, whereas gender is a fluid category. And normally in traditional societies, we always associate them with binaries, which is not the case. We have multiple sexualities, multiple gender orientations now being talked about. So basically, when we talk about gender, it is a performative act. Basically, behavioral patterns which are repeated on continual or continuous basis. So basically, we have the specific gender orientation according to how we experience, how we perceive ourselves, and how we express ourselves. These also depend on what roles are taken on by us, what are the expectations of others from us, or what are the expectations placed upon us, and how people of different gender orientation relate to each other. So basically, all these things weave into a very complex system. Which once it gets ingrained psychologically and are internalized, they become systematic, and they become a very, very complex, systematic phenomenon. So when we talk about gender bias, basically we refer to prioritizing one gender over the other, as far as their social status is concerned, or as far as their prestige is concerned. So gender bias in the traditional society is basically related to patriarchy. Well, in India, we understand patriarchy as something different, but largely patriarchy is concerned with the control having in the hands of men rather than women. So patriarchy is just a binary of what is patriarchy. Basically, it is the control system. So ultimately, the gender role divisions and the gender expectations that are imposed on people eventually lead to certain bias, and this bias eventually gets manifested in unequal access to opportunities and unequal rights. So when we refer to gender bias, it is access to rights and other opportunities which are affected by the concerns of gender. As far as you see data is concerned, UNESCO gives a long list of gender bias to support the prevalent menace of imbalances, gender imbalances. So we have still, you see, if we count 59 most educated countries of the world where women education is also on the higher side, we find that even there, most of the women are not placed well. And it is very, very surprising that even today, living in modern world, we have 125 million girls still not enrolled in schools. 1 in 3 women have faced some sort of physical violence by intimate partners. As far as GSNI report is concerned, half of the people of the world still have certain bias against women. So when we talk about gender bias, basically it is bias of one gender against the other. But now it has come to become synonymous with the bias against women. So when we look at the data of gender equality, it is always a gender lopsided, lopsided picture that tilts more towards men and less towards women. And we find that 25% of the women of the world are still, they still receive, beating from men. Men are considered as more, as better politicians, better executives than women. Even political representation is concerned globally, we find that it is 26.9%. Again, not even 50%. As far as sciences is concerned, we find 35% women make only the STEM graduates. And even the count is good as far as graduation, post-graduation or PhD degree is concerned. But when it comes to career in research, very few women are found in finding their, looking for career in their research. Only 1 in 3 researchers is a woman. Again, why it so happens that they do not choose the research as their career? Even if those choose research as a career, they leave this career prematurely. Their stay is shorter, they are paid less, and even as far as boards of academics are science academies are concerned, only 12% of women are there. As far as SEBI is concerned, SEBI mandates women's participation at the board level. So that is how the change has come there. But somehow or the other, if we look at the workforce of women, we find that workforce, almost 26% of the women constitute the workforce. But when it comes to the upper level of the administration, only 1% of women are found there. So we find as we move from 26% to mid-level categories, it goes to 16%. When it comes to executive level, it moves to 15%. And when it comes to the top position, we find that there is only 1% of women heading the institutions. So clearly, these data support the fact that there is a systematic exclusion of women from the administration, from politics, from economic forums, and so on. So why, in order to understand why this gender bias came, it is essential to understand what are the roots. The roots basically, as far as my own experience goes, somehow or the other, there was historical labor divisions came. What are the historical labor divisions? Historical labor divisions mean that man was considered to be for productive items and woman was considered for reproductive roles. So this is how the traditional role divisions came to be associated with gender bias. And eventually, slowly and gradually, socialization takes place. And since the gender bias is also there in the processes of socialization, so we always find that there is a dichotomy of blue versus pink. So even the mothers who go to market buy garments for their kids, for pink for their girls and blue for their boys. So talking about this gender bias, one writer had talked. What happens is, it is not that women were born with some less attributes, but eventually it came to be realized that whenever there is a competition, you see, the easiest way out is to assume that you are more powerful than the other. So men also assumed that they are more powerful because they have a better physique, and women served as mirrors to them. So women also started accepting their inferiority. So that's why Virginia Woolf, holds women as much responsible for their inferior status as she holds men, because women also accepted and internalized the patriarchal value system. Now, another important point was why women started considering themselves not fit for professional life was because of the motherhood. Motherhood was considered as compulsive and also taken as penalty. So motherhood penalty is that once the mother can only gestate and lactate, and therefore she takes care of the child for a long time. Therefore, it was convenient for society to attribute the domesticity to women and for public affair to men. And eventually these get entrenched into citizens. And women also started internalizing those stereotypes. So basically, how we perceive motherhood actually determines the value of woman in a society. In most of the Western societies, you find that the motherhood is considered as something which is debilitating, but in Indian context, motherhood is considered as a power, not as something which is disempowering. So again, what happened was that woman was confined to domesticity. She was also excluded from economic affairs. She was excluded from the political and power sphere, and thereby she got confined within the four walls of home. And this eventually resulted in the dilemma that we face today. Now, it is also because women do not have very good role models to follow. Actually, we do what we see, and we can't do what we can't see. So that based on that premise, since women did not have many role models to follow except their own mothers confined within the domesticity, this domesticity and eventually the bias became more and more entrenched and complicated. Now, as far as power is concerned, the topic that I was given, gender bias and women empowerment. So we understand now what is gender, and now we understand why there is a bias. Bias because whenever there are certain people living together, there is always a relational power imbalance that occurs. So all do not occupy the same power. Like in Indian societies, the elders have more power than the children have. Similarly, the gender bias is also a product of, or it is an outcome of the relational power politics as far as power is concerned. Now, again, when I look at the concept of power, it means that power means that there is a right to access the institutions. Power also means that there is individual autonomy. It also means that there is a relational hierarchy. So power is, in the Western concept, an empirical phenomenon, which is considered as something to be acquired, to be taken, to be achieved. And it is a source of, what are the sources of power according to this perception? Basically, it is the legal equality, whether the laws are there to ensure that the women and men or other genders they enjoy equal rights. There is a professional achievements and all involved. There is political and administrative roles and offices that we occupy, and the economic independence that we enjoy, which eventually results in a sense of power within us. So what we find is that even if women are economic on the economic ladder, there is a great fallout. Most of them, 60% of them, quit midway. They would like to quit midway because they feel that there is a double burden that they are carrying. The burden of proving their worth and expertise in the intellectual and professional field, and second, their role in the capacity of home builders. So there we find that there is a double burden that they feel themselves under. Now, it's again a matter of subjectivity, how we treat. You see, in matriarchal societies, very many in African countries and even in India, we find that there are matriarchal societies where women are a part of the economic system, very, very important part of the economic system. They are also contributing to GDP, but at the same time, they are also taking care of their families. So that's why one of the Nobel laureates, Toni Morrison, said that women can be both ships and the safe harbors. So they can be, family holders, nurturers, protectors, and at the same time, they can also have their independent life in the professional and intellectual world. So it depends on how you perceive yourself that you feel empowered. So if you feel that you can hold both the jobs together, you don't feel disempowered. But if you feel that I am meant only for one and not for the other, and when we start comparing ourselves with other genders, and we find that the data supports us that 60% of the unpaid work are done by women in comparison to men. So there they feel, that men do not perform those duties which are essentially assigned to women, and that's why they feel burdened. So feeling burdened is only when you feel that this work has been imposed on you and the women are not ready to take it on. I was listening to some woman talking. She said, the hand works, but the hand must also draw its energy from the body. Okay, the body is healthy, but body also responds only when there is a heart beating within us. So she compared the woman as the beating heart. So your hand is powerful, your body is powerful only because your heart is powerful. So women occupy that position, cardinal position in society, which is occupied by heart in a human body. And if the heart feels that it must beat, the woman must execute, I think there is nothing in the world that can stop her from doing what she wants. The only problem is that in order to in her competition to emulate men, women has started comparing herself with men, and she is also copying men. My personal opinion is that both men and women have certain good qualities. Both must maintain their qualities, but at the same time, they must inculcate the qualities of the other sex, other gender, in order to enrich ourselves. So women who are engaged in professional worlds, in public sphere, and they are also engaged in private sphere and private worlds, can meet both the demands of the modern world if they only think that they are not masculinizing themselves. So masculinization of the social impetus today is not the remedy to the problem of the times of that is suffering from gender bias. It is basically, you have to inculcate within you, you have to invoke within you the feminine as well as the masculine in order to be powerful. So I see power not as an empirical idea, but as something which is latent within us and which has to be invoked. And I therefore look upon Indian scriptures to see how they look at the feminine power. See, in Indian scriptures, the concept of power is essentially feminine. And that is why when Lord Krishna is defining the best of the cows, the best of this and the best of that, there the best of man is not being defined. Chapter 10, verse 34 talks about 7 feminine qualities which women have, and if any person acquires those qualities, can be an excellent person. So there you find the same thing being repeated as we see in our scriptures, where there are 3 lords, and the 3 lords cannot execute their responsibilities until unless they have the female power within them. So Brahma without Saraswati cannot be the creator. Vishnu without Lakshmi cannot be the sustainer, and Shiva without Durga cannot be the destroyer. So these 3 women entities basically represent the Adi Shakti, that is the power that is latent in every human being as a feminine power. So as far as women empowerment is concerned, I don't see any hassle that women should consider themselves a power only if they start invoking their inner power. You see, if you look at in the Ramayana, for example, Lord Hanuman did not think that he had power to go across the seas to locate and to to find out Sita. And at that time, the Reachpati, Jamvant, uttered these lines. Kaha Reachpati sun Hanumana, kyu chup sad gayo balwana, pavan tanay bal pavan samana, buddhi vivek vigyan nidhana, kavan so kaj kathin jag mahi, jo nahi hoi tat tum pahi. So nothing in the world is there which you cannot achieve. Only the thing is that you have to see the power within yourselves. So eventually it is the mind, it is the resolution, it is the resolve that eventually must come from within, that you are powerful and you will be powerful. That is what I have to say. Thank you. Any questions?
Any questions from the audience?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Question from the audience? Any questions?
So let me ask them one question. How many women sitting here in the rooms or listening to me would like to emulate men? None. None.
Ma'am, the students are asking, please.
Yeah, please.
Question in Hindi.
Yes, question.
Emulate. They are not able to get the word emulate. So in Hindi, please, ma'am, they're saying.
How many would you like to act like men? Behave like men? आप में से कितने बच्चे चाहेंगे कि हम लड़कों की तरह अपनी जिंदगी बिताएं?
Ma'am, nobody is responding. I think no one. They are comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah, I'm very happy to note. Okay, how many of the men would like to act like women? None. But please do go through the verse number 35 of chapter 10 of Gita. It talks about 7 qualities. Should I elaborate them? Okay. I'll take only 2 minutes to sum them up. So the first quality, you see, Arjun asked who is the best in women, and he said the best of the women are those who have these 7 qualities. Now look at these 7 qualities and you don't find anything weak in it. First is Kirti. You understand what is Kirti? Kirti is fame. So women always exert fame. So they always carry with them that reputation and fame with them. Next is Shri. Shri means they represent prosperity. Next is Vak. You see, women are silent. Historically in the West, women had been silent and women had been considered as also invisible. But in Indian theosophy, we find that women are blessed with best oratorial skills. So the Vak Shakti is there. Then the next quality that they talk about is that of Smriti. They have a very good memory. And you see, apart from memory, they have the quality of Medha. Medha means they have sharp intellect. So do you find that any of these qualities refer to their disempowerment? None. Okay. The sixth quality that the Gita talks about is that they have a lot of patience. Again, patience is something which comes from a powerful person, not from a weak person. And the last quality is the most powerful quality, which many people think is the weakest quality, the weakest point in women, which I think is the best point in women, the strongest point in women, and that is Shama. And there is one quotation also, one verse going, Shubha भुजंग क्या कहते हैं, क्षमा शोभती उस भुजंग को जिसके पास गरल हो. So only the powerful person can give excuses or can give pardon, can forgive others. So all these qualities are the qualities of the strongest persons of the world. So that is why Lord Krishna says that if you have all these feminine qualities in you, may you be men or women, you will be the most powerful person in the world. So I invoke, I invite, I inspire to inculcate in them all these 7 qualities to become powerful.
Respected Professor Ma'am, thank you so very much. I extend my heartfelt gratitude for enlightening all of us with your insightful reflections on gender bias and women empowerment. Ma'am will surely like to inculcate all the 7 qualities you told about. Your words have educated and inspired us to work for more inclusive society. Your wisdom, your clarity of thought, and empowering message has left a long-lasting impression on every participant, whether offline or in a physical form or online. So we are deeply honored to have you here with us, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much to the entire organizing team, and thanks to the Vice Chancellor who initiated and inspired them to take up this function. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, now, it's my proud privilege to invite our esteemed speaker, our esteemed next speaker, Professor Sabriye Yusan, Director of the Institute of Nuclear Science at University Bornova, Turkey. So Professor Sabriye is an eminent academician and researcher. She has a remarkable contribution in the field of nuclear science through her extensive research, scholarly publications, and academic leadership. Her work continues to inspire innovation and scientific excellence. Her dedication to advancing nuclear science and fostering global academic collaboration reflects her visionary leadership and commitment to her excellence. Ma'am is involved in various research projects as a project coordinator and has many research publications as well. So I invite Professor Sabriye Yusan for her address on the topic of sustainable solutions for next generation advanced materials in wastewater treatment. Ma'am, please address the gathering. I welcome you.
Thank you. Hello everyone, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In this significant seminar dedicated to empowering the roles and contributions of women within the universal language of science, I will be discussing the latest advancements in chemistry from my perspective as a chemist. My presentation will be scientific, but I hope it takes your interest. I also wish to extend my sincere thanks to DeviLal University for organizing this wonderful rank. I will say. Sorry. Can you see or no?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. You can see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. As you said, my topic is sustainable solutions for the next generation, advanced material waste treatment, wastewater treatment. Especially, I am working on this subject in wastewater treatment procedure, investigations about this. Yes, chemistry is fundamental to modern advancements across various fields, driving innovation in healthcare, energy, technology, and environmental sustainability. As a result, the application and development of chemistry have garnered significant social attention. However, the production and use of chemical products often present challenges such as inefficient raw material utilization, slow yield, complex process, and the generation of numerous byproducts. One of the most pressing concerns is the release of toxic and corrosive pollutants and waste, which exist in various forms across different medium, ocean territories to both of the environment. Addressing these challenges has become imperative, leading to emergence of green chemistry. At its core, green chemistry aims to optimize material and energy efficiency in chemical reactions while minimizing pollutant generation. You can see some key areas which are crucial in chemistry. One is healthcare and medicine, biomaterials, energy and sustainability. The other nanotechnology and material science. Especially, I am working on this subject, nanotechnology and material science, and using them in the nuclear science. I will give some samples about this topic. I hope I'm not going to bore you. In chemistry, also agriculture and food science, as you know, fertilizers and pesticides is very important. Food presentations, also chemistry is very effective in this area, and synthetic biology. For environmental protection, especially maybe about 10 or 15 years, green chemistry is really very, very important. Why we use green chemistry? Because this process is focused on sustainable process that minimize waste and reduce hazardous substances. The other subject, water purification. These chemical technologies improve the water treatment through distillation, filtration, absorption, and the other pollutant removal process. And biodegradable polymers, we use these polymers because these polymers are eco-friendly, cheap, and biodegradable. So, for environmental protection, most of the chemists are now using this biodegradable polymer. The other topic is space exploration and defense. As you see, chemistry continues to be at the heart of scientific and technological process shaping the future of industries and everyday life. Recent advancements in chemical science have significantly impacted various sectors, from sustainable technologies to medical research. This report highlights key developments across several domains. One is sustainable chemistry and green technologies, like rare earth metal recycling, green photocatalysis, green absorbance, and the other artificial intelligence in chemical research, advanced materials and nanotechnology, innovations in catalysis and chemical reactions. I will focus on two of them because they are my subjects, but I will give small information about the other subjects. Maybe you will interest. Rare earth metal cycling. Why we are doing this? Efficient extraction methods using ionic liquid. Rare earth metals have really important application in cutting-edge technologies employed in electronics, information technology, and automobile industries. So rare earth metals are generally separated from their natural ores by solvent extraction. However, since urban mines have different metals and concentrations of rare earth metals are usually low, highly efficient separation and recovery methods are required for rare earth metals. Especially in my country, we have rare earth ores, but it is difficult to separate the rare earth and thorium ions because thorium ions are being with the rare earth elements. So we are investigate different methods to separate them. One of them is ionic liquid. They are molten salts at room temperature and have attracted considerable attention since they are novel and environmentally friendly solvents. You can see some ionic liquids. This is our article about extraction and separation of sodium from cerium and lanthanum by ionic liquids. And the other topic, green photocatalysts. Green photocatalysts are materials that are facilitate chemical reactions using light energy while minimizing environmental impact.
I'm sorry to disturb you. Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to disturb you. Actually, ma'am, the
yes, how they work? Green catalyzed. Sorry. Solar energy to drive reactions such as water splitting for hydrogen production, pollutant degradation in wastewater, and carbon dioxide reduction. Renewable and biodegradable sources reduce reliance on toxic and rare materials, cost-effective compared to traditional photocatalysts. Not visible. Now you can see. Hello?
The slides are also visible.
Visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay. As I said, catalyze play an indispensable role in chemical reactions, accelerating reaction rates and reducing byproduct formation. This green catalyzed hold great promise for chemical reactions, but face significant challenges in development and industrial application. Their synthesis is often complex and costly, particularly for advanced material like MOF. Maybe you hear metal organic frameworks and nanomaterials. Ensuring catalyzed recyclability, stability, and durability remains difficult. But future research should focus on improving catalyzed design and synthesis and efficiency while reducing cost of these materials. In environmental remediation and circular economy, green technologies really play a crucial role because they reduce the pollution, conserving resource, and promoting sustainable development. How it works, bioremediation? We use microorganisms, fungi or plants to detoxify contaminated environments. For example, microbial remediation, we use bacterial such as Bacillus Tagore for heavy metals or pesticide removal. Phytoremediation, we use plants like sunflowers. Green absorbers, we use natural and engineered materials to trap pollutants from water or air. For example, biochairs. We use, especially in my studies also, I use biochairs because they have very high capacity for removal of the heavy metals and the other toxic materials. Also, zeolites and clay-based absorbents mostly used in wastewater treatment and especially air purification. You can see some green ore, we can call the other name, eco-friendly solvent materials. Their advantage. Another absorbent, green absorbent, we can use activated carbon. We can obtain this activated carbon from carbon-based absorbents such as biochairs, zeolites, or the other farming plates. And we can synthesize them as a nanocomposite, nano-biocomposite ore, and we use them in our experiments to reduce toxic materials in wastewater or drinking water. This is an example. Again, our studies, we use activated carbon. One sample is natural activated carbon, the other is 16 arginate activated carbon. As you see, many absorbents we use in green chemistry to minimize the toxic materials. You can see some samples. I don't want to take your time, and I will press quickly. As I said, we can use algae biopolymers. We use these materials for uranium biosorption from aqueous solutions. The other you can see again different kinds of algae we use for rare elements, as before I mentioned, lanthanum and thorium. Again, clay, material we use as absorbent. The other, we develop environment-friendly magnetic nanobio-composites, and we use it for stone film removals, because the stone film is very important toxic metal, because it relies after nuclear fission, and it has really high, about 30 years half-life, so it's very important. You can see. Yes, the other important subject is carbon transmission. These materials are emerging as a green absorbent of recent times for various categories of water contamination, including heavy metals. The use of biosource as a green precursor to carbon dust synthesis offers a huge opportunity to fabricate inexpensive materials. I will show some samples about our studies. You can see the sample synthesis of carbon quantum dots. They have unique properties. So we can use many applications in this material. For example, optoelectronics, satellites, biomedical imaging, gas delivery, MRT monitoring, chemical biology sciences, many areas you can use this material. You can obtain from fruits and vegetables, animal products, food and beverage, many synthesis methods you can see. It has very simple synthesis method. Yes, this is our study. We synthesis cerium and nitrogen dot and liquid carbon quantum dot from mushroom. It's biosource. You can see it. Yes, the other natural polymers I say extracted from source like microorganisms, algae, plants, animals, and they have long been used in biomedical science, from pharmaceutical to tissue regeneration. So in chemistry, this is a very important subject. As you see, we use biosolids and organic extracts for uptake as a lanthanum. What is the advantages and challenges of polymer integration with extracts? It is simple process, applicable to wide range of selected extracts and easy separation of solution and resin. What is the challenges? Not all extract molecules are accessible for effective extraction, and inactivation of extraction agents can result in food selectivity sometimes. Yes, the other popular material is nanofibers. These nanofibers we can call it electrospoon nanofibers. They are nanosized with an extensively large surface area to volume ratio, which significantly increases their exposure to environment, gas or liquid compared to microbials. You can use many materials like PAM, PVD, PLA. Also, you can use MOF, which is nanofibers, and you improve the specific surface area. Yes, you can see the electrospinning process. We can use in many areas: medicine, biomedical, filtration, textile food, tissue engineering. We can use many areas these electro fibers. electrochemical process which produce nanofibers. Sorry. The other material, functional composite membrane. This functional composite membrane can represent a cutting edge in material science, integrating high performance polymer matrix with advanced functional fillers such as graphene oxide, metal oxide framework. By employing sophisticated scientific techniques like blending and surface treatment, these membranes achieve superior mechanical stability, enhanced hydrophilicity, and exceptional anti-fouling resistance, which is really critical for sustainable water treatment. Yes, artificial intelligence. We use this AI in chemical research. Maybe also you are using, I believe now every people use AI in every area, in science, in our daily routine. This AI in chemical research, the evaluation and the development of advanced functional materials by leveraging machine learning algorithms. Research can now predict the performance of illness solvents and composite membranes with high accuracy and significantly reduces experimental cost and time. This AI driving models facilitate the rational design of complex systems such as carbon quantum dot decorated membranes by optimizing synthesis conditions and understanding molecular interactions at the interface. Yes, as you see, recent advance in chemical science has led to groundbreaking developments in sustainable chemistry. AI driving drug discovery, advanced materials, and computational chemistry. These innovations have profound implications for medicine, environmental protection, and industrial applications, improving efficiency, technology, memory about this woman inside. Last year, I had an interview with a newspaper. They asked me what is it like to be a woman inside. I said really it is really difficult because women are mother, wife in their job. They are researchers, they are academicians, or they are directors. So really, it's very difficult. You have to think many things. But I believe women in all the world are very strong and they want what they want. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the audience would like to have a word with you, the audience. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you so much for such an interesting presentation, Professor. Ma'am, I could really relate with your work because we are working in the similar kind of field. I would say same. So, my question is, like, what are the major challenges you face while detecting strontium, or especially lanthanum ions, compared to the common metal ions?
Sorry, I can't hear. Please repeat.
Okay, I will repeat. Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, what are the major challenges you face while detecting the strontium or lanthanum ions compared to the simple metal ions with the help of quantum dots?
About materials?
And simply, what are the major challenges you are facing in your work area?
Challenges. Sometimes cost sometimes there are challenges. If you want, it, yes, we have many challenges. Actually,
If you could just explain few, if someone like me wants to work in the same field,
yes, that's
Okay, ma'am. The student will mail you regarding her question and you can solve her query there. Thank you so much, ma'am. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you for such an inspiring address on the topic of sustainable solutions for next generation, advanced material and wastewater treatment. Your insightful thoughts and rich experience and powerful perspective has left a long-lasting impression on everyone. Thank you so very much, ma'am. So in future also, we hope to continue benefiting from your services. Thank you once again. So now, moving on to the ending part of this huge grand event, the vote of thanks. So before I conclude, I would like to express my deepest gratitude on the behalf of organizing committee and to all our distinguished guests, especially our chief guest, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Vijay, our guest of honor, Professor Vikram Singh, Dean Research, for gracing this event with their presence and all our eminent speakers from various streams. I sincerely thank the Vijnana, Bharati and Shakti team for promoting the event, and I thank the IUPAC and all the collaborators for all their efforts. Thanks to all the participants from across the globe, and thank you for joining us. Your engagement is what makes the event truly special. I also give my thanks to the IT team. A special thanks to the Director UITDC and his team for doing the work restlessly. Thank you to DPRO and the media persons for making this media coverage. And also I extend my heartfelt thanks to the departmental team of chemistry and the non-teaching staff, the students, the scholars, the faculty members, whose enthusiasm and support has been a very vital role to this event's grand success. So the feedback form will be shared in the WhatsApp group and e-certificate will be provided to each and every participant. So thank you all once again and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.